What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I'd like to talk about Mykel Williams and Mike Green and who will the Falcons choose with that number 15th pick. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content or NFL content. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as you guys know, the draft is next Thursday, and I kind of want to give my thoughts on who the Atlanta Falcons will draft, or give my prediction of who the Falcons will draft with that number 15th pick. Now, personally, I think it's going to come down to two players, either Mykel Williams out of the University of Georgia or Mike Green out of Marshall University. Now, this could be a really easy pick for the Atlanta Falcons because if Mykel Williams is off the board before 15, or if Mike Green is off the board at before 15, then they can just take either of the ones that are still remaining. But if both of these guys are still on the board, that's where it could become tricky. So I'm gonna give my thoughts on both players and then give you guys my prediction of who I think the Falcons will take. So Mykel Williams, he goes about 6'5", 265 pounds to 270 pounds. He's more of the defensive end type, very physical, a guy that can play multiple positions on the defensive line. He can play up and down the defensive line. You can move him inside because of his size. He's a little bit bigger than a Mike Green, has longer arms than Mike Green, outweighs Mike Green. So I definitely could see him being taken by the Atlanta Falcons because of his ability not only to stop the run, but his ability to be flexible and play multiple positions on the defensive line. And because the Falcons need a lot of help at defensive line and need an impact player, I could see his upside in the Falcons going with him because of his strengths, his ability to be physical at the point of attack. Like I stated, he's one of those guys that's very disruptive on the defensive line. In Mykel Williams, the weaknesses I see in Mykel Williams' game is if you play a team that has a mobile quarterback and he's playing that defensive end or playing on the edge, when you're playing against a Jaden Daniels, a Jalen Hurts, a Lamar Jackson, guys that can go, use the RPO. I don't know if Mykel Williams has the speed to be able to stop those guys from getting outside because he's not the fastest guy. He has good short area quickness, but he's not the best as far as if he has to contain a really speedy quarterback in the option game. I don't know if he'll be good in the RPO situation of being the last line of defense because that's not his strengths. His strengths is using his power. His strengths is using his short area quickness. His strengths are, penetrating and getting in the backfield and causing tackles for loss and things of that nature. Now on the Mike Williams side of the game, Mike Williams goes about 6'3", 6'4", 250 pounds. So he's a little bit lighter than Mykel Williams. He's I'll say about 10 to 15 pounds lighter than Mykel Williams, but he's the more explosive athlete in Mike Green, a guy that has a quick first step, a guy that I feel like will be a game changer on the NFL ranks because of his explosiveness. His strengths are stopping guys that could run the RPO. So he would be one of those guys that can contain a Lamar Jackson, could contain a Jalen Hurts or a Jaden Daniels in the option game or in the RPO game. But he's not the best as far as he won't be able to play multiple positions on the defensive line. You won't be moving Mike Green most likely on the interior of your defensive line. You're going to mainly use him to either drop in the flats. You're going to use him to contain the edge, meaning stop the run on the edge. And you're going to use him basically for his pass rush abilities off the edge. He does have great bend, meaning he can bend the corner. He has all of the pass rush moves, cross chop, all of those different moves that you can think of, rip moves and things of that nature. So to me, he's the more polished pass rusher. If you were to compare him to a Mykel Williams, Mykel Williams is more of a rugged, big physical, going to use his frame to, his power to get to the quarterback where Mike Green can use speed, he can use power, but he also is going to mainly use his explosiveness and his athleticism to get by a lot of offensive tackles. So it just depends on the style of play and what type of player would you rather have. And for the Falcons, personally, I would go with Mike Green over Mykel Williams because of his explosiveness. I really feel like he would have the ability to get more sacks in the season. If you're looking for a guy to get you double-digit sacks, I think Mike Williams, excuse me, Mike Green would be that guy that can get more sacks in the season. But Mykel Williams does have that ability to also get you 10 sacks in the season because of his disruptiveness. But both of these guys are dogs. I feel like the Falcons can't go wrong with either pick. Even if they decide to go with Mykel Williams or they decide to go with Mike Green, both of these guys are really, really good. But I really feel like just from what I've been reading and just per my thoughts and things of that nature of what I've heard, reading the tea leaves and things of that nature, I really feel like it's come down to these two guys. I really feel like at the top of the Falcons draft board, as far as when it comes to edge rushers or pass rush or defensive line, I really feel like it's going to come down to Mike Green or Mykel Williams. I really feel like those are the two guys that they want. If neither one of those guys are on the board, then I can see a Jalen Walker out of Georgia as well. But I really believe that Jalen Walker is going to be a Carolina Panther. They pick at 8. All of the things are pointing that they really want Jalen Walker to be on their team. So I could see him, going to their team. But if it comes down to, the last two guys that I really think that the Falcons really, really want, I really feel like at the top of their draft board, it's going to come down to Mykel Williams. It's going to come down to Mike Green. So with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts. Which player would you choose? If you could only choose one, you want go with Mykel Williams, the more physical athlete, the stronger and more versatile athlete as far as you can move him up and down the defensive line? Or do you go with the more explosive athlete in Mike Green, a guy who has the quick get off, a guy that, led the college last year in sacks? So with that being said, I have a lot more content coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.